Hey, folks, man, this is Monk, and we're back with another Classes of Cinematics episode. And joined as always with my co-host, we got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo.
Yeah, and today we got a crazy one, folks. It's one of my favorite films, and this might be the most closest to current classic that we've covered so far. You know what I'm saying? As far as I think this was put out, let me get this thing 2009, man. So this film is directed by Scott Sanders. And the synopsis goes as this, man. After the man kills his brother, the man and poisons the neighborhood with tainted malt liquor. A kung fu fighter played by Michael Jai White wages a war that takes him all the way to Nixon's White House, man. And this movie is crazy, man. So we've got starring Michael Jai White. He's the main cast. Let's go through this cast because it's crazy. Normally I skip over some stuff, man, but this thing, I think this is what makes this thing rock so hard.
We're talking about Black Dynamite too.
Yeah. Oh, I did. Yeah. I didn't say Black Dynamite. Oh, okay. Black Dynamite. Okay. So first of all, we got Michael Jai White playing Black Dynamite. We got Byron Mins, who plays right hand man Bullhorn. Kim Whitney. Got Tommy Davidson, Arsenio Hall, Cedric Yarbrough, Kevin Chapman, Richard Edson, Brian McKnight. Oh my God, I forgot. He's one of the pimps. Yo, Buddy Lewis, Gunsmoke, Daryl Heath. I believe he plays one of the militants. We got John Sally as the Kotex pimp. We got Oba Babatunde, who's great, man. He's Osiris. He's like the head pimp. You might have known him as the dean from How High that they was roasting. Yeah. It's like, oh, James Evans having. Oh man, we get Sally Richardson in here who plays Gloria. A very important character to this. Nicole Sullivan from Mad TV pops up, man. Great role in here. Bill Morris plays the militant leader. McKelty Williamson, Chicago Wind. Mike Starr, like his character is Raffaele here, but I swear he's the same guy from the How High video. Maybe it was like, I want them dead. Red Man and Meth. Like, I think that's him, dude. Yeah. I don't think that's him. Roger Wan, he plays the famous Dr. Wu. We got Miguel Nunez, another pimp called Mo Bitches. Bokeem Woodbine was my favorite pimp, though. Blackhand Jack. Tucker Smallwood plays Monroe James. Like, the thing is crazy stacked, man. You know, we got let me see. Well, militants in here. Nicole Ari Parker pops up in this thing, man. It's just star-studded with cast. There's probably people in here that are even uncredited that we don't even know about, man. So, right. But yeah. So what stands out to you immediately about this film, man?
To me, even though this is like, pretty much like a spoof film on the 70s blaxploitation films. Mm-hmm. What stood out to me most was the attention to detail. Mm-hmm. When you watch this film, it looks like it's from that era with the grainy, gritty kind of film that they use, the music and everything.
I wonder about that. You think that's a digital effect, or if they just found some really old footage film stock to shoot on, man? I got to look at the making of to see what's what.
Probably a little bit of both, honestly. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, and this film is just so fun. It gives me belly laughs every time I watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So when I first found this film, I was doing my bootleg era, and it looked like an old 70s film that I hadn't seen. But then as I'm playing it, I'm like, hold up, that's Michael Jai White. Mm-hmm. He was like a baby when this was right. This was the 70s. And then I was like, oh, and then I'm seeing other people pop up. I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing. You said they're spoofing 70s films. It's a little bit of Superfly. It's a little bit of Three the Hard Way, Black Belt Jones. Yeah. All of that thrown into the mix, man. But it's just got slightly modern inflections on it, man. Like, and the thing about it to me that there's great. Sometimes you get these parodies and spoofs, and they're just barely winging it. You could tell the people who made this really care about film, and they've seen a lot of films, and just the little stuff. Like you got the big gags, but it's the little things that keep me smiling most of the time as I'm watching this, man. Like the scene comes up, like right now where the CIA dude comes to recruit him to tell him his brother's dead, and Black Dynamite look like he's living good. He's like, He's like, dang, bro, you got an 8-track player in every room, don't you?
Right.
And I'm just thinking about that. I'm like, that's a weird flex, but it's a flex for the 70s, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, just to have one stereo set is a big deal, but if you got one in every room, oh man, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and that's another thing too, is like the one-liners. This film is full of punchlines. Like even in the same scene, the CIA agents like, oh, Black Dynamite, we don't want you to create a river full of blood. He was like, all right, just tell me who did it, and I'll just make a puddle.
I just do a little puddle. Yeah, it's great, man. It's nuts, man. And even this the details, but they also know when to dig in. Like he's telling his story, his flashback to Nam, and he keeps talking about Chinaman. I'm like, bro, you was in Nam, and he even talks about the little kid that broke his heart, the little kid that had his legs blown off. He said, yeah, he said something in Chinese. Like, I'm like, bro, you in Vietnam? Why you keep calling this dude Chinese? But it's those little things, man. Those little details. This thing is very detail heavy, man.
Yeah.
The music is killer.
Yeah.
We got hip-hop producer Adrian Young actually did the film score, so I think that score is out there. But another interesting fact, a detail, is like there's a bunch of songs that come up that carry us from scenes to scenes, and I believe the guy from Meet the Browns, what's the show, man, or oh man, I can't remember the I don't think it's Meet the Browns, but it's one of those shows that had came out. It's the one where the dude's a fireman, you know, with his family. What's his name? But the dad on there is actually the dude who sings those songs, and I can't find those songs isolated by themselves. You can only get them in the film so far that I know of. But it's great. Everything that's happening, he sings it. Like even the funeral, when it slows down, he's like, "They killed my brother," or something like he's just my little brother.
It's like a play-by-play and shit. Yeah.
It's so great, though. I love this movie.
You know, another thing that always just gives me belly laughs is the names. Like everyone has these wild names. Like Tommy Davidson, his name's Cream Corn.
Cream Corn, bro. I love Cream Corn, man. Cream Corn is one of my favorite characters. It's amazing, man, because when we meet Cream Corn, he's in the joint. He's like, I'm running things. He's Tommy Davidson is so great. I wish he got more. I wish he did more work, man. I think it's a choice at this point. He had a good run on. Recently, he just popped up on the Miss Pat show as a character, but the thing that gets me about it, he's it's Superfly, because Cream Corn supposedly knows something about his brother, and then Dynamite runs down on him, and then they go through this chase through the street that's almost beat for beat. But he chases Superfly, but the music's similar. He hits the same little wall jump. It's just so dope, that details. But Cream Corn is crazy, because right before Dynamite gets there, he's talking crap. He's like, yeah, man, I'll choke a dude out, man. You know, 100 pounds of pure dynamite. And then, I forgot. He tells the chick, he's like, yeah, girl, mess with me, man. I have you farting through silk.
Yeah. Another thing that made me laugh when they had the chase scene, it gets to the point where they're running side by side. It's not even a chase anymore. They're running next to each other. You know what I'm saying?
He's just looking at him.
Like, this is the stuff where it just, like you said, the attention to detail and the amount of energy and effort they put into this film, into getting these extra laughs and stuff. I love it, man.
And it's also just embracing the ridiculousness. Everyone is playing it straight, which makes it over the top, man. Like Kim Whitley comes up to him. It's like, yeah, like Dynamite, I just ordered your nunchucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is this? What world are we in? And dude, this, I mean, to be honest, should we even be rocking with Black Dynamite? He's a pimp. He's got a stable of hoes. He's got a brothel that Kim Whitley runs for him.
Right.
And it's just, but it's nuts. But we overlook that because he's trying to clean up the streets, man. He's got a little bit. And the funny part to me that flips over is the pimp scene. I love this scene. It's to me, it's like the climax of the movie in a lot of ways, because he's one of them. To be honest, he would have been in that meeting too, chilling, kicking it. But then he's decided, because what happened to his brother, he's going to stop the drugs in the community.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. You know? He's like, no, I can't get with that. Everything you saying.
But then the part that kills me is just we get a little bit of moment into the Pimp Gallery, and they ain't even talking about nothing. But it's so amazing, yo. My man, Babatunde, he's like, falls off his atlas. and crashes into the something that, making this philosophical stuff. It's like I've been around and it's gonna be here even after that. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, but it works so well, man. And you get all the characters. They got a kangaroo pimp. my man from Joanna, man, he's like, man, it's so hard out here. I can't even get my hair fixed. They just snapping on each other. Man. You got Arsenio in there. I think Arsenio coming off the table like,
yeah, right.
Yo, I would watch a show with just them, dude. Give me 5. Like, you ain't got to do a whole show. Give me 5 minutes of them every week on YouTube, dude. I would lose it.
Yeah, man.
It's great, man. About the action, man. I think the action works here too, man. Because like, Michael Jai White is a very accomplished martial artist, man. Yeah. He's one of the best in the world. And I think it's dope that they put that into effect, and even he doesn't do much to Cream Corn, it's more regular street fisticuffs, but that scene where he's training with his dudes, and
oh yeah, man.
And the thing about that scene is dope is those are his friends in real life. Those are his martial arts friends that he brought to the through them scenes. Even the fiendish Dr. Wu, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy that he gets those scenes and he gets to pull off his, what he does,
Yeah, but and that's the thing too, because like you said, I mean, Jai White, he kicks butt with Kung Fu, but I love it because the phone rings and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, what I tell you about interrupting my Kung Fu?"
Yeah, it's Billy. Oh my God, even on Billy selling it, man. But yeah, so there's funniest shit on in the background when he goes to the pool hall. Tracing. Running there, you gotta interrogate the people, the chain of people who might know. And Chicago Wind is the greatest character. He comes in and the Chicago Wind's pool hall, and he's like looking for information on my brother, but clearly Cream Corn sent them there as a setup, and that's the first thing he says. And they talking all this crap. He's like, "Man, I ain't kill your brother, but I did. Wish I would have killed him myself." And and basically they tell him to get out of here. And this is one of the best scenes. He walks up to the door like he about to leave, close the door, flips the sign to close, and you just know, you're like, oh,
yep.
And he proceeds to whoop ass. But even that's great. Like, he's doing this martial arts stuff. But what I like when he's whipping the nunchucks out, and he throws the nunchucks away out of the screen for
someone tosses them back to him. Yeah,
they just come and he catches them. And I'm like, yo, this wasn't planned, dog. That was totally improvised, man. And there's scenes like they intentionally the attention to detail, like you said. Like, there's shots we see the boom mic in there. They did that on purpose, man. They knew it was there, but they was like, well, like, if you watch this movie Behind Me, 110th Street, in a very opening scene when the gangsters are, you will see a boom mic just sitting in there.
Right.
Sitting there, and you're like, no one noticed that. It's crazy, man.
And that's the thing too, like, because in the actual films that came out at that time, somebody would always break out into Kung Fu. Like, even like when you watch the Dolomite films, like, he was not a martial artist, but when he started doing, getting into his nitty gritty and the stuff, he would be doing like Kung Fu kicks and chops, kind of stuff. And when you watch the
karate was hot at the time.
Yeah, and when you watch like the Dolomite film that came out on Netflix, they touch on that. He's like, man, I don't know martial arts. I don't make it work. You know what I'm saying?
So that boom mic, it was reminding me of something. The last thing we did, he got game. Like, I noticed this the last time I watched it. The scene where who's the gangster?
Big Time.
Big Time, ride him around, and he talks about, that montage, and there's a one part where the guy's drinking a 40 and he starts shooting. If you look at his ear, there's a close-up and you can see like earplugs in his ear. I guess to muffle the sound from the gun. It's like and it's yellow. There, great yellow. And I was like,
back. I mean, they
didn't edit that out. I was like, maybe they weren't paying attention to it, because there's no way he should have a big yellow wad inside of his ear.
Yeah, because that definitely was before the time of earbuds. Nowadays, you see him all the time.
So I would definitely encourage you, if you got the Blu-ray or whatever, watch the director's commentary, because it lets you in on so many gags. Like, even the and when they roll up on him at the donut shop, and then the car like keeps rolling when the gangsters get out the car. That was not planned. That was improvising. They just left it in there because it looked funny. It was like, yeah, man. This is great, dude. I love this movie, man. My man Bullhorn, But we go on an adventure, man. This thing it holds up. Like every time I watch it, I get the same joy out of it.
Yes,
every time, man. It's just nuts, man. It's amazing, dude. But the cinematography, like we were speaking on, man, it's great how they achieve that look, and even the buildings and everything, like the locales, they just look 70s, man. I guess LA is just full of all this kind of stuff anyway, you know. So if you are looking to film there, you can find these things in these locales.
Absolutely. And like I was telling you, like I watched it yesterday again, and it felt like the first time. Matter of fact, I had so much fun with it that now I want to double back and watch the animated series.
Oh yeah,
I never watched it. It just kind of fell under the radar for me. And like I was like, man, dude, if the animated series is bringing the same kind of intensity or the same kind of flow that this movie is bringing, man, I'm on board.
So interesting too, man. We got the car chase in the background with him and Chicago Wind. This is all stock footage, man. They use so much stock footage whenever they could, which definitely helped them stretch the budget. And another interesting aspect of this, there's a montage later when he's like, "We're gonna clean up the streets," which is one of my favorite songs. He's like, "Black Dynamite and the screw, gonna clean up the streets," something like that. But if you look in that montage, there's a little scene where there's a propeller plane. Looks like it's about to take off and land. I can't remember, but it's all mixed up into this action stuff. But that exact scene is in Foxy Brown. The hell, like when they took her out to the farm. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes was abusing her. That exact scene, that's the same footage from, and I'm wondering if that footage did they use the stock for, Foxy Brown as well, or did they just, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Right.
Like the stock footage film industry is a little weird. Some films touch on it a little bit. I think that was one of the themes in King Kong, was that they ended up, the guy was a stock footage director,
right?
And he ended up convincing the studio to let him go to Skull Island and film some, exotic stuff that they could sell to, other filmmakers. But the characters are so great in this, man. I do want to just get back to this casting, man. We got Black Dynamite, Bullhorn, his right hand man, who always raps. He's like roadblocking this.
Yeah.
But then you got also Sally Richardson, who is so dope here, man. She's beautiful, but she's also adds a lot of character to this plot as well. He ends up teaming up with her, to kind of clean up the streets from these bad guys. I think that's what leads him to clean up the streets, is he doesn't care. But then she brings him in, you got the orphans. It's just some really funny banter.
An orphan.
like one of my favorite scenes is when they meet and I guess she's running for council or whatever. But then you got the guy that's the city guy, the corporate guy, you know what I'm saying? So he's telling her, breaking it down. It's like, yeah, they don't like y'all message, at least his, you could put it to a beat.
Right.
He's basically acting like a church pastor at this city council meeting. But she's like, yo, man, I don't trust you guys, with your slick looks and your fancy gear and all. And he's like, thanks for the compliment. And talking about and your slick smiles. And she's like, and he's like, she's like, think about the compliment. He's like, what about your smile? He's like, I am smiling.
Right, my man. Ice grilling.
It's so great.
What also makes me laugh too is just out the gate, when you get the start of this film, you get that commercial for the malt liquor, the Anaconda, and it's like, yeah, only malt liquor that's approved by the government. It's like, what?
So was none of it approved? What are you telling me?
Like, what's going on? And then, it's so funny when you get down to the back end of the film, when they're really looking into what's going on with this malt liquor, they take this scenic route, like the way they break down and come up with their conclusion and stuff. It's just so off the chain.
But the conspiracy itself, it had to be this way for this film. If it was something that made sense, like it would have threw it out the water, because they got poisonous malt liquor that if you drink it too much, it's gonna make you drink.
Yep.
and then that's the
at the end of their conclusion, they're like, yeah, who does this remind you of? Little Richard. So what is a Little Richard?
All right, so that's my favorite scene.
Yeah,
like one of the favorites, because it's making fun at the crime scene investigator or the you know, but the way the conclusions they start off somewhere that makes no sense to get from point A to point B, and it's just a stretch. It's just, it's crazy, man. It's even flipping words around, like, bro, there's no way you're gonna get from here to there.
Right.
I wish I had the clip of that, man, because it's so nutty, man. Like what's something? Yeah, this means big snake. What's the biggest snake? Anaconda. The anaconda malt liquor.
Yep.
And the anaconda malt liquor gives you ooh. It's like,
who's
known to say ooh? It's like, no. They're like, anaconda malt liquor gives you a little Richard. And they're like, what's another name for Richard? Dick. And then they spoke up. And they're like, anaconda malt liquor gives you. And then they remember that their boy has been drinking this stuff religiously.
Yep.
And this is the craziest scene.
Yo, man, yeah.
They're all in the room, and my man is laid out. He's and they zoom in, and oh my god, this movie's crazy, man. You know, it's so many layers, man. Like, I can't even cover everything, but it's amazing, man. You gotta see this thing, man. Only thing that I'm disappointed on is they were talking about a sequel, but I don't think they were going to do the sequel. So pretty much the sequel right now that exists is the TV show.
Okay.
And the TV show right now is a little different because it's hard to place the time that it happens, but I kind of look at it as a different entity. It's almost like you threw these characters in, and it's different because, you know, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but certain things happen in this film, and, you know, certain characters disappear, they're gone. But in the TV show, it almost seems like an earlier adventure in a way. Okay. You know, whereas you got some of the same team, which includes Black Dynamite, Bullhorn, and I can't remember her name, and Honeybee. You know, and they're all going on other adventures, you know. So I don't know if that stuff supposed to happen before this film. It definitely can't happen after because of some of the events that happen. But it just gives you a more immersion into this world 30 minutes at a time, and it's done so well. The animation is beautiful.
That's what I was gonna say. I was watching the trailer. It almost looks like anime style.
Yeah. It's anime style, and it's some of the best animation, and it's weird that it really didn't take off like that. But I guess, you know, Adult Swim does have its limitations. You know what I'm saying? The late night, you know, time, and also there's still a lot of people who haven't seen this film, man. You know, as much as we love it, there's still people who haven't seen this, or there's people that don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think part of it too is having to have knowledge of the 70s Black exploitation era. You know,
exactly. That's what makes it funny. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like you said, I mean, if you just completely overlooked or skipped past those films, and this, I mean,
you're not really going to get a lot of the jokes and the gags.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of if your only film knowledge is I'm going to get you sucker. You know what I mean? Which that also is a spoof film on the same.
Yeah. So it's like it's an interesting thing because you know, somebody over at Concentrated Podcast told me that I didn't need to see Clone Wars and all those other Star Wars films to enjoy The Mandalorian, but every time a new episode comes out, and I'm like, that was good, but then I see their brains exploding because something that was referenced in one of those TV shows is now in this show. So it's like having seen those makes this thing that much better. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely. And if you watch this, man, take some time to check out Superfly, Dolomite, and things like that.
Friday Foster,
and this thing will hit even harder, man. This is definitely a film that I watch several times a year, man. At this point, it's just so well done, dude. Like there's nothing bad I can say about it. You know, it does maybe toward the end it gets a little you know, long in the tooth, and the conspiracy gets just crazier. But at the same time, I feel like if it didn't go there, then this thing would have felt incomplete to me. You know,
right? And like you said, I mean, honestly, it's not a long film. It was like an hour and a half tops.
That was about 1:40, something like that. So it's a little bit long.
Maybe like a 20 something.
Yeah, let me find the thing real quick. I think it's like 1:40 or something like that. Yeah, actually, they got a 1:30. You're right, dude. That's weird. They got it straight at 90 minutes. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. You know what's interesting though? I will say this: that cut that I had, that illegal cut that I had, there's an interesting part with the after they leave Dr. Wu's island,
Mm-hmm.
like I felt like that was extended in that version that I had. When I watched the streaming version, it's cut out. It's a shorter sequence, like in the in that version. But Cornelius from movie from the Canopy Film Show told me that on his Blu-ray version they have that extended version of it where basically him and Tommy Davidson get in a helicopter and fly from Vietnam to DC in a helicopter without refueling. And the funny part is it is extended. So they're in the air flying, they talking, and then there's one point where the Black Dynamite, he's at the sticks and he's like, and then Tommy hits him. He's like he like nudges him, and then Dynamite wakes up and Tommy's like,
yeah,
like what are you doing? Like, it's so funny, man. But that's not usually in the streaming version. They cut that out, and they just they fly out, and then next thing you know, they're walking up to the White House, man.
Another thing that works for this film for me is normally when we see Michael Jai White, he's playing more serious role, and the fact that he's he's
a natural goof.
Yeah, he's still keeping that seriousness like in his face and everything, but he's just having fun with this. Like you can just tell he's having so much fun.
Euphoria, didn't even gotta look to know that was you. Like it's just he's got, like, to me, this is what John Cena is doing now on Peacemaker.
Yeah,
he's this cool, big, macho dude, but at the same time, he's doing anything to make the joke, to get the joke off.
Yeah, and having fun with it at the same time, like embracing it. You know what I mean? And like you can tell, like Michael Jai White is really, really embracing this role and just having a great time doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is great. Even the part that trips me out after they clean up the streets. And he's with Sally Richardson, and he's frolicking, but he's still this big macho, and he's trying to be like, and the music it's like, come on, son. But it's so great. It plays so well, man, on the TV, because he clearly likes her, and he's clowning himself just to, just to be around the kid.
Yeah.
But even then, that turns funny because he's like, I hope you didn't think you was gonna get some of this cookie. He's like, well, you can hit the streets or hit the sheets. Don't make me know, never mind. This movie is great, man. I don't care. It's great by any measure, man.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing, dude. I don't know. I don't really got much more to say, man. We could probably talk about this joint for hours, but go see it right now if you want to see it, and you've already got HBO Max. It's free to watch on there. If you already got your subscription, you might as well check it out, as well as the animated show. They've got all the episodes on there as well, which are equally as good, to be honest, man. And I think they might even be a bit better because you could draw anything, dude.
Right.
You're not restricted by anything. There's an episode in this where with a young Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5 era, man, and you're gonna be looking at Mike totally different when you watch this show.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I'm definitely gonna check the show out.
Yeah, there's an episode with about Bullhorn's secret past film career. It's, trust me, man. You making me. I'm gonna go back because I haven't seen all of them. I think I've seen about 4 or 5 of them, but I haven't seen the whole run of that series, man. So I got to go back and take a look at that.
But yeah, man, like you said, I mean, I would definitely implore anyone who hasn't seen it, check it out. I mean, even though it came out a nice little time ago, it doesn't feel time stamped because it's taking place in the 70s anyway. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like I said, I find full enjoyment every time I watch it.
Yeah, and I like a good spoof. I mean, I know we had the Naked Gun era, but I would want to see stuff more like this, where they clearly have a great understanding of the genre that they're involved in. Like I can see someone remaking a Commando in a way like this, just going balls to the walls and getting silly with it, man. Like, and they like, and if you can get the same director with the same amount of detail. So we got Scott Sanders. I don't know what else he's done, dude. Like, he probably went on to do some serious stuff after this.
Right.
Maybe this is his only thing, dude. So, filmography. Let's see what we can got here. He did Thickest Thieves in '99, which is also another Michael Jai White film, I think. That's the one. Isn't that the one where they're I think you talked about this. Alec Baldwin, Michael Jai White, they're playing cards. Rebecca De Mornay or something.
Oh man,
It's an old joint that
This-
used to be on
yeah.
VHS. Yeah, dude, I think this is that. So I didn't know he did that. Black Dynamite. This guy also did the TV series.
Okay.
Apparently he also did a film called Aztec Warrior in 2016. So I think that's all we got for film. But I mean, he did good, dog. If he didn't do nothing else, like, hey.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, spoof films are hit or miss. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And a lot of them just aren't even worth the watch. But this one is up there, like with like Spaceballs or Robin Hood Men in Tights. You know, those ones carry a lot of weight, and this one does as well. You know?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. But yeah, I think that's it, folks, man. We're going to be back next time. We're still trying to run this Black History Month features. We got a couple more weeks left, man. I don't know what the next film is going to be yet. I'm waiting for Bob. It's going to be his pick. But yeah, folks, we out of here, man. Catch you next time. Peace.